Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Royal Rumble review. Royal Rumble last night was from the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas. And the Royal Rumble, marks the road to WrestleMania. And of course, it's WrestleMania point sign season because Royal Rumble always starts with superstars pointing to the WrestleMania sign every single year. And it was good the WrestleMania sign didn't go up in flames like how it did last year at the Royal Rumble. There was reports last year saying that the WrestleMania sign was on fire. There was videos online of it. So, the WrestleMania sign that they used, was good. There was no issues with it coming out of the Royal Rumble, news coming out of the Royal Rumble. But the Royal Rumble, the pay-per-view as a whole, sucked, in my opinion. Absolutely awful, this show was. The men's Rumble and the women's Rumble were very lackluster, and the booking for both of the Rumbles were very lazy. Absolutely lazy. So aside from the Rumbles, we had Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight, pitch black match, and the World Women's Championship was on the line where Bianca Belair defended the title against Alexa Bliss. And the main event, the Undisputed WWE Championship was on the line where Roman Reigns defended the titles against Kevin Owens. But overall, the Royal Rumble last night absolutely fucking sucked. Aside from that great ending to the pay-per-view last night, I thought the end of the pay-per-view after the match was over with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens was absolutely perfect. Absolutely greatly done. And it was good TV there. But aside from that, the whole show fucking sucked. But let's jump right into the review. Royal Rumble opened up last night, and we had Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary. And then we saw the return of Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee returned last night. Michael Cole was just so happy to see him. Of course, it was his broadcast partner on SmackDown. Wade Barrett ended up replacing Pat McAfee because McAfee was doing College Game Day for ESPN. So Michael Cole, like I said, he was so happy to see Pat McAfee. Corey Graves was absolutely furious to see McAfee come back. So McAfee ended up telling Corey Graves to suck it. He did the suck it gesture. And then Michael Cole ended up, shaking hands with Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee ended up going over to Corey Graves. He ended up putting his hand out for Corey Graves to shake his hand. And, Pat McAfee didn't want to shake Corey Graves' hand. So he was like that. And then when Corey Graves reached out his hand, he's like, all right. So Pat McAfee ended up joining the commentary table, and it made for a three-man boot. So we had Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Pat McAfee, doing commentary for the night, which was cool. It was good to hear Pat McAfee, on commentary again. I have to say, Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, they made a good commentary team on SmackDown. And then it kicked off with the 30-man Royal Rumble. And like I said, this was very lazily booked, and it was lackluster. Both Rumbles were lackluster and lazy booking. Look at what we got here. The man to enter at number 1 in the match was Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion. Sheamus entered at number 2. So we had them going at it. And Gunther and Sheamus, they had, of course, a hell of a match at Clash at the Castle last year, which that was the best match of the pay-per-view, in my opinion. So Gunther ended up reversing the whip into the ropes, and he absorbed a shoulder tackle from Sheamus. So Gunther ended up knocking Sheamus back. He ended up trying to eliminate Sheamus, but Sheamus raked Gunther's eyes. Sheamus ended up dropping Gunther with the Irish Curse backbreaker. And Sheamus ended up trying to eliminate Gunther to, no avail. So Gunther did not get eliminated. And Gunther, here in the Royal Rumble, he was the MVP of the Men's Royal Rumble. So at number 3 entered The Miz. How the fuck do you have The Miz enter at number 3 over a Seth Rollins, over a Cody Rhodes, over a Johnny Gargano, over a Karrion Kross? The Miz at number 3? Are you kidding me? So The Miz got on the apron, and he jumped back down to ringside when Sheamus ended up charging at him. Gunther ended up trying to take advantage to eliminate Sheamus, but Sheamus hanged onto the apron. Miz tried to pull Sheamus off the apron, but Sheamus ended up kicking Miz away. So we had Gunther end up chopping the Miz down. Sheamus ended up knocking Gunther down with a shot to the back of the head. So Sheamus then ended up delivering a chop to the Miz. So Miz was clutching his chest in pain because, of course, a heavy chop from Gunther. You know Gunther and his heavy chops. When he chops, somebody, it echoes through the arena. I mean, he has those hard chops that you could actually feel. So Gunther ended up trying to eliminate Sheamus again. Miz ended up trying to help, but Sheamus ended up hanging on. So into that number 4, it was Kofi Kingston. At number 5, it was Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano coming back from, an injury that he had, a minor injury. So The Miz was eliminated by Sheamus, who bro kicked him. So Gargano super kicked Miz. Sheamus ended up giving a bro kick to The Miz. So Miz ended up getting eliminated. So at number 6, it was Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods entered at number 6. Karrion Kross entered at number 7. Number 8, Chad Gable ended up coming into the Royal Rumble. Number 9 was Drew McIntyre, the winner of the 2020 Royal Rumble. So we had McIntyre end up attacking Karrion Kross here, and he ended up eliminating Karrion Kross with the Claymore. So Karrion Kross ended up going over the top rope. So entered at number 10, it was Santos Escobar. Number 11 was Angelo Dawkins. And at this point in the Royal Rumble, Gunther ended up booting Xavier Woods off the apron, to which Xavier Woods ended up getting eliminated. So at this point, we had Kofi Kingston trying to eliminate Gunther. Santos Escobar ended up stopping him. And then Kofi Kingston ended up crushing Santos Escobar with a double stomp. Gunther put Kofi on the apron, ended up knocking him off. And Xavier Woods had a commentary chair set up for Kofi to land on, but the chair ended up falling over. So that was a botch. So the commentators were saying that Kofi Kingston had one foot still on the chair. So it was at that point Kofi Kingston was eliminated. So then at number 12, it was Brock Lesnar. Now I'm like, oh, please don't let him win. Please don't let him win the Rumble. But he eliminated Santos Escobar, Angelo Dawkins, and Chad Gable. So Brock Lesnar ended up eliminating all 3 of them. And then at number 13, Bobby Lashley came out. He was number 13 to enter. And shockingly, we had Brock Lesnar ended up lifting Bobby Lashley for an F5. Lashley slid off, and he clotheslined Lesnar over the top rope, eliminating him from the Rumble. And Lesnar was furious. He was throwing a fit. He ended up throwing the top of the commentary table into the ring. So then Baron Corbin came out at number 14. So Lesnar was still irate. He ended up taking the top half of the ring steps and he smashed the top of the ring steps onto the commentary table. And then Lesnar ended up attacking Corbin as he came into the ring, as he ended up coming down to the ring. So Lesnar ended up hitting Corbin with the F5 on the floor. And so, of course, referees and officials end up trying to come down to stop Lesnar from doing any more damage. So Brock Lesnar ended up grabbing the referee by the throat and he shoved the ref over the barricade. Lesnar ended up going to the timekeeper's area and then he ended up leaving. So then Seth Rollins was number 15. Rollins ended up taking his time to get to ringside. He ended up seeing Corbin coming up. So Rollins ended up rolling Corbin into the ring. And he super kicked Corbin and then clotheslined him over the top rope. So Corbin got eliminated. So 90 seconds, of Corbin in the Rumble. So then at number 16, Otis ended up coming in. Number 17, Rey Mysterio. To which Rey didn't come out. No one knew where Rey was. So there was a report that came out that Rey didn't compete in the Rumble because he was injured. So he has an injury, and at number 18, Dominik ended up coming out. So Dominik came out, he was wearing Rey's mask. So he ended up tearing his father's mask up. So WWE was here, he was trying to make it think that Dom ended up attacking Rey, but really, we understand why Rey wasn't in the Royal Rumble, because, like I said, Rey is injured. So we had Otis being eliminated because McIntyre and Sheamus end up eliminating Otis. At number 19, it was Elias. Elias lasted 39 seconds in the Rumble because we had McIntyre and Sheamus end up crushing Elias with a bro kick and Claymore. So they end up eliminating him. So at number 20, it was Finn Balor. Finn Balor entered at number 20. Balor and Dom end up eliminating Johnny Gargano at that point. And number 21, it was Booker T. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Can you dig it, sucker? Entered the Rumble. You had, of course, Booker T doing the Spinneroonie, which that was good to see. And then Gunther eliminated Booker T. So that was pretty much that. And then we saw Gunther was bleeding from a laceration on his lower back. His lower back was all cut up. So then at number 22, Damian Priest entered. So we had all of Judgment Day in the match, in the Royal Rumble. Number 23 was Montez Ford. So Montez Ford ended up getting eliminated by Damian Priest, to which Priest ended up grabbing Montez Ford by the throat, chokeslam over the top rope. And number 24, Edge. Edge returned, and we haven't seen Edge since October, since Extreme Rules. So Edge ended up coming into the ring. He went for Damian Priest. He speared Damian Priest, and then he speared Balor. And then Dom ended up knocking Edge into the ropes. He ended up going for a 619, but Edge ended up spearing Dom. So Edge ended up eliminating both Damian Priest and Finn Balor. So Edge and Rollins at this point had a stare down. Dominik then ended up attacking Edge. Edge then tried to throw Dom over the top rope, but Dom held on. Balor jumped on the apron, and he pulled Edge over the top rope, eliminating him. So Balor and Priest end up double teaming on Edge. So, still continuing with, Edge, and the Judgment Day, him trying to attack them. And then at number 25, we had Austin Theory enter the Rumble. So Edge attacked Damian Priest heading up the ramp, and he wildly chased after Finn Balor to the back. Balor ended up tripping. Edge ended up running by Balor. Edge then ended up attacking Damian Priest and Balor at the entrance ramp. So then Rhea Ripley ended up decking Edge from behind. So then all of a sudden, Beth Phoenix, Edge's wife, ended up appearing behind Rhea Ripley. Beth Phoenix ended up spearing Rhea Ripley down on the floor. So we had officials, security, and producers, and officials end up running out and separating Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley. So Austin Theory got into the ring, ended up attacking Rollins before hitting the Fisherman's neckbreaker. Austin Theory ended up taking Dom down, and then he ended up attacking McIntyre. And then at number 26, we had Omos. Can you believe Omos was in the Rumble? So, at number 27, we had Braun Strowman end up coming out. So Omos ended up going after Rollins. McIntyre ended up grabbing Omos, started punching him. Omos ended up knocking McIntyre back, and he waited for Strowman to get into the ring. So Strowman ended up getting fired up. He got in Omos' face. Omos ended up shoving Strowman, so Strowman ended up punching Omos back. So both Strowman and Omos were exchanging blows in the center of the ring. Strowman ended up stunning him with a right hand. And as Strowman hit the ropes, he clotheslined Omos out of the ring. So Omos got eliminated. Thank God. So Omos was eliminated. So at number 28, it was Ricochet. Ricochet entered the Rumble. So we had Sheamus was eliminated and Drew McIntyre here. So at number 29, I can't believe this was number 29. When this guy came out, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So at number 29, it was Logan Paul. Logan Paul. This could have went to anybody else. And then you had Logan Paul. Could have went to anybody else but Logan Paul. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So Logan Paul, we all remember at Crown Jewel, he was suffering a knee injury. And he got boos from the crowd, which I loved. I was clapping away at that. And then at number 30, it was Cody Rhodes. When Cody Rhodes came out at number 3, all of us were like, all right, he's winning the Rumble. Obviously, you know that he was winning it. Very predictable. If I was booking this Rumble, I would have had Seth Rollins come out at number 1, and I would have had Cody Rhodes come out at number 2. So just have Cody Rhodes eliminate Seth Rollins, and then do it right from there. They don't need to have another match. It ends here at the Rumble. But obviously, with Cody Rhodes coming out at number 30, I'm like, all right, here you go. Very predictable. Cody Rhodes is going to win it like we all predicted. The one spot that I liked, which was crazy, was the spot where Ricochet and Logan Paul were both on the top rope. Ricochet was on the left side. Logan Paul was on the right. And both of them jumped off the top and they collided with each other, which that was crazy, and it brought the crowd to their feet. That was just crazy. But in the end, it came down to Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Cody Rhodes ended up hitting the crossroads to Gunther, and he ended up clotheslining Gunther out of the ring, eliminated him, and so Cody Rhodes ended up winning the Royal Rumble. So Cody Rhodes celebrated, and he stood on the turnbuckles. Of course, he pointed at the WrestleMania sign because it's WrestleMania pointed sign season. We had pyro end up going off in the Alamodome and fireworks going off outside, which I don't know about you guys, but I thought that the fireworks outside of the Alamodome, it looked very CGI-ish, in my opinion. So that's just me. So, but it just looked very CGI with the fireworks going off outside the Alamodome. But overall, the men's Rumble, very lackluster, lazily booked. I mean, Logan Paul at number 29, The Miz at number 3. Come on. And then we had LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. This was the Pitch Black match. The sponsorship, Mountain Dew Pitch Black. And the match was okay, in my opinion. Was it great? No. Was it perfect? Was it the best match of the year so far? No. So you had LA Knight end up coming out first, and then Bray Wyatt. So the lights end up going down in the arena, in the Alamodome. And we had blue lights end up turned on. There was a Mountain Dew Pitch Black logo in the center of the ring. So Bray Wyatt ended up attacking LA Knight, ended up slamming him. So he ended up hitting a suplex on Knight. What I really liked was the ring ropes were glowing in the dark. So that was pretty cool. So as Wyatt ended up hitting a suplex to LA Knight, which looked really crazy, Knight ended up getting out of the ring to recover. Bray Wyatt then grabbed Knight. Knight ended up reversing the whip into the steps, so Bray Wyatt ended up flying over the ring steps. Bray Wyatt ended up throwing LA Knight over the barricade. Bray Wyatt then cleared off the commentary table, and he ended up grabbing the ring steps, and he set it up for a superplex, but LA Knight ended up fighting it. He ended up diving off the barricade into Bray Wyatt, and so they went through the table. So we had Bray Wyatt end up getting up, and he threw a toolbox into the ring. LA Knight ended up attacking Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt ended up throwing him out of the ring. And so we had a kendo stick. The kendo stick was painted with neon colors. So LA Knight ended up hitting Bray Wyatt with the kendo stick. The paint ended up coming off on Bray Wyatt because Bray Wyatt was wearing body paint, that had the look of, the Pitch Black match. So Bray Wyatt ended up blocking a kendo stick shot, and he hit Sister Abigail onto LA Knight, and so he went for the cover, and there you go. Bray Wyatt ended up winning the Pitch Black match. So post-match, Bray Wyatt started pacing around, and he emerged wearing a new mask on him. LA Knight ended up running the Rey. He ended up hitting Bray Wyatt with a kendo stick. Bray Wyatt didn't sell that, so the kendo stick shot did nothing to Bray Wyatt. So we had Bray Wyatt stalking LA Knight through the crowd. Bray Wyatt ended up getting a second kendo stick shot to the shoulder and the head by LA Knight. So Bray Wyatt ended up chasing LA Knight up a platform. Bray Wyatt then applied the mandible claw and took LA Knight down. So Bray Wyatt looked up and he saw Uncle Howdy stand above him on a platform. So all then we saw was Uncle Howdy jumping off the platform, and he dived onto LA Knight. And so then pyro ended up exploding around Bray Wyatt. So we had Bray Wyatt staring down at the carnage that happened with Uncle Howdy jumping off the platform onto LA Knight. And all we saw was live versions of Huskus the Pig, Ramblin' Rabbit, and Abby the Witch as they stared down from the platform. So pretty much that was basically that. But overall, it was okay. Was it, like I said, was it great? No. Was it perfect? No. But, it's a gimmick match. So then we saw Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair. Raw Women's Championship on the line. Bianca defending the title. This was awful. This was terrible. This was boring. So the match got underway. Alexa Bliss ended up taking down Bianca Belair. Bianca ended up tying Alexa Bliss in the corner, ended up slamming her down. Alexa Bliss ended up using Bianca's hair, her braid, to pull back on a bow and arrow stretch. So Alexa Bliss ended up attacking Bianca with some strikes. She ended up hitting the double knees to Bianca's back. Alexa Bliss ended up going for the cover, and Bianca ended up kicking out. Alexa Bliss ended up applying a chin lock, of course, to slow down the match, but Bianca ended up powering out. Alexa Bliss ended up quickly taking Bianca down with some kicks. She ended up going for the cover, and Bianca ended up kicking out. Alexa Bliss ended up going up to the top rope. She ended up pulling Bianca up with a chin lock. Bianca countered by spinning Bliss around and hitting the vertical suplex. Bianca ended up taking it to Bliss, and Bliss ended up getting knees up on a handspring standing moonsault. So Bianca ended up taking Bliss down, ended up hitting the handspring standing moonsault onto Bliss, and she ended up going for the cover, and Alexa Bliss ended up kicking out. So we had Bianca Belair end up going for the KOD. Alexa Bliss ended up sliding off, ended up kicking Bianca in the back of the knee. So Bianca ended up blocking a basement drop kick. She ended up going for a powerbomb, but Bliss ended up getting out of it, ended up hitting the DDT to Bianca, to which Bliss ended up going for the cover. Bianca kicked out. So Alexa Bliss was going to hit a Sister Abigail to Bianca, but Bianca ended up getting out of it, and she ended up hitting the KOD to Alexa Bliss. So Bianca ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Bianca Belair ended up winning the match, retaining the Raw Women's Championship. Post-match, we had a video pop up on the screen, and it showed Alexa Bliss when she was in, her attire, when, she was under with Bray Wyatt, when, Bray Wyatt was the Fiend. And Uncle Howdy's voice ended up asking, "Do you feel in charge?" So pretty much that was basically that. But overall, the match was terrible. And, don't care for this supernatural shit with Alexa Bliss. I don't care. I really don't. And then we had the Women's Royal Rumble. Like I said, just like the Men's Royal Rumble, very lackluster. And this Women's Rumble was lazily booked, but I say it was better than the Men's Rumble, in my opinion. So Rhea Ripley entered at number 1. Liv Morgan entered at number 2, which I gotta say, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan were the 2 MVPs of the Women's Rumble. So we had both Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. They were exchanging blows to each other. Rhea Ripley ended up taking Liv Morgan down, ended up throwing her across the ring. Liv Morgan sidestepped Rhea Ripley, ended up clubbing away at her. Rhea Ripley ended up knocking Liv Morgan back, ended up clotheslining her down. Liv Morgan ended up quickly hitting the backstabber and ended up kneeing Rhea Ripley in the corner. Liv Morgan came off the second rope, but Rhea Ripley ended up catching Liv Morgan, and she ended up hitting her with a vertical suplex. And then Dana Brooke entered at number 3. Really, Dana Brooke? So we had Dana Brooke end up hitting Liv Morgan with a superplex. And then Emma ended up coming in at number 4. And then number 5, Shayna Baszler ended up coming in. Number 6 was Bayley. Number 7, B-Fab came in, which B-Fab lasted, a minute in the Rumble because Rhea Ripley ended up grabbing her, sending her over the top rope. So B-Fab was the first one to be eliminated. So Rhea Ripley liked eliminating B-Fab. She was smiling, and she was shown bleeding from her cheek. And number 8, Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion, entered the Rumble. All right, good to see Roxanne Perez in there. I like Roxanne Perez. Number 9, we had Dakota Kai, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. So she ended up coming in. And then number 10, Io Sky. So Bayley had her backup woman in there. So Dana Brooke was the second to be eliminated because Damage Control, both Dakota Kai and Io Sky, ended up eliminating Dana Brooke. So then Emma was eliminated because Dakota Kai ended up big booting Emma out to the floor. Roxanne Perez was then eliminated because Bayley ended up lifting Roxanne Perez, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Ended up kicking Roxanne Perez off of Bayley's shoulders out to the floor. So that was how Roxanne Perez got eliminated. Number 11, Natalya entered. Natalya ended up coming back after she was injured by Shayna Baszler. So we had Shayna Baszler and Natalya going at it. Shayna Baszler quickly ended up getting Natalya in the corner, started punching away at her, started stomping Natalya down the corner. And then number 12, Candice LeRae entered. So we had Shayna Baszler and Natalya, both were eliminated. Number 13, Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark, I like her also. She's part of NXT. Number 14, Xia Li, Mortal Kombat Girl, entered at number 14. So then Candice LeRae got eliminated. Candice LeRae was eliminated by Damage Control. Number 15, Becky Lynch, The Man, entered. So we had Becky Lynch end up walking down there. She was, of course, attacked by Damage Control at Raw 30 on Monday in the steel cage, which never got underway. That match never got underway. So Becky Lynch furiously walked to the ring. She ended up attacking both Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Lynch ended up taking down Bayley. So then at number 16, it was Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox entered. Number 17, we had Asuka. Asuka ended up returning, came out to a big reaction. Asuka was wearing awesome makeup. Looked like, the makeup that, she wore as when she was known as Kana. So, nice, awesome makeup on Asuka there. Number 18, Piper Niven, formerly known as Doudrop, ended up coming into the match, ended up coming into the Rumble. Good to see Piper Niven back. At least, they gave her original name back to her. Not fucking Doudrop, which that was a stupid name. But, she was out. And at number 19, Tamina. Tamina was number 19. You kidding me? Number 20, Chelsea Green, making her return to WWE. And she got eliminated in, 40 seconds? The fastest elimination in the history of the Women's Royal Rumble was Chelsea Green. Got eliminated by Rhea Ripley. And from what I heard, Chelsea Green, they gave her a sort of like a Karen gimmick. So Chelsea Green will be a Karen. I think that gimmick is awful, just hearing it. Making Chelsea Green a Karen. Just awful. So then Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Becky Lynch, and Bayley were eliminated at this point. Number 21 was Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega was dressed as a character from Street Fighter 6 because the only reason why Zelina Vega was dressed as a character from Street Fighter 6 is because Zelina Vega will be a commentator on Street Fighter 6 when it comes out. So Xia Li was eliminated. And then at number 22, it was Smiley Raquel Rodriguez. The Pearly Whites end up coming down to the Rumble. So at number 23, it was Mia Yim, or Michin, as her nickname. I'll just call her Mia Yim. I will always call her Mia Yim, not by this Michin name, which she did not need. And at number 24, Lacey Evans. Number 25 was Michelle McCool, to which she was sitting ringside. So she got up from her ringside seat, and she was in her ring gear. She ended up coming in. She confronted Tamina, and she ended up sending Tamina into the ring steps. So we had Tamina end up landing on the apron. McCool end up big booting her off. So Tamina was eliminated. Number 26, Indy Hartwell. Really like Indy Hartwell. She's from NXT also. So she ended up hitting some clotheslines and some big boots. She ended up slamming Zoe Stark down. She ended up pointing at the WrestleMania sign, which of course she wasn't going to win the Rumble. So Lacey Evans then ended up attacking Indy Hartwell, ended up choking her on the middle rope. Number 27, Sonya Deville. So Zoe Stark was eliminated by Sonya Deville. Number 28, Shotzi. Number 29, Nikki Cross. And at number 30, can you believe this? At number 30, it was Nia Jax. And then they botched the countdown. So Nia Jax was number 30. I was like, oh, God. And then Nia Jax was eliminated because every woman teamed up to eliminate her. So then Lacey Evans was eliminated by Smiley Raquel Rodriguez. And Sonya Deville was eliminated by Asuka. Michelle McCool was eliminated by Rhea Ripley. Shotzi and then Mia Yim were eliminated. Piper Niven was then eliminated. And then Smiley Raquel was eliminated by Rhea Ripley later on. So Nikki Cross was then eliminated by Liv Morgan. So the final three were Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan. So Asuka was eliminated by Rhea Ripley. And then it was down to, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. There was a point where Asuka was going for the mist at Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley ducked, and the mist ended up hitting Liv Morgan. So Liv Morgan was blinded. Rhea Ripley ended up grabbing Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan ended up stunning Rhea Ripley with a codebreaker on the apron. So Rhea Ripley was holding on. So Liv Morgan ended up knocking her down, to which Rhea Ripley was still hanging on the top rope. She was dangling above the floor. Rhea Ripley ended up powering up, ended up hitting Liv Morgan with the head scissor takeover off the apron, so Liv Morgan was eliminated. So Rhea Ripley ended up winning the Women's Royal Rumble. So obviously, we all knew that Rhea Ripley was going to win it. So Rhea Ripley ended up pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Pyro was going off, fireworks outside of the Alamodome, which still looks CGI to me, in my opinion. But still, Women's Rumble, just like the men's, very lackluster and very lazily booked. I mean, Nia Jax at number 30. And then, of course, you have Tamina in there. I mean, we could have had surprises, for the match. I mean, I like that we got, NXT women here like Indy Hartwell and Zoe Stark and Roxanne Perez. But, you could have had, a surprise appearance. You could have had, like, Lita, if she wanted to do it, or Trish Stratus, Molly Holly, you could have had. But, like I said, it was nice to see, NXT woman in the Rumble. But the Women's Rumble, like I say, even though it was lackluster, very lazily booked, it was better than the Men's Rumble. Main event. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. Undisputed WWE Universal Championship on the line. This was a good match here. So, we had a Sami Uso chant end up picking up. Paul Heyman ended up looking at Sami Zayn in disgust. And Roman Reigns ended up saying, "We're going to teach him a lesson tonight." So, the match started with Reigns and Kevin Owens end up locking up. Reigns ended up applying a headlock. Owens ended up whipping Reigns off. Reigns ended up shoulder tackling. Owens started talking some trash. Both guys ended up locking up again. Reigns ended up applying a side headlock. Owens ended up whipping Reigns off. But Reigns ended up turning Kevin Owens inside out with another shoulder tackle. So they locked up a third time. Reigns applied another side headlock. And Owens ended up whipping Reigns off. He ended up dropping him down. Ended up hitting a back elbow. Kevin Owens ended up following it up with a senton splash. And Owens ended up telling Paul Heyman to suck it. Owens started stomping away at Reigns in the corner. And he backed up. He delivered the cannonball. Reigns ended up rolling out of the ring to recover. So Owens ended up following him out. Owens ended up punching Reigns. Started clubbing him. Owens started chopping Reigns' chest. Ended up reversing the whip into the LED barricade. Owens then ended up clotheslining Reigns down on the floor. Ended up hitting another senton splash. Owens then ended up getting Reigns in the ring, started punching him in the head. So we had Kevin Owens end up punching Reigns to the corner. Reigns reversed the whip to the opposite corner. And Owens ended up rolling up turnbuckles before he ended up falling on his head. So Reigns started choking Kevin Owens on the bottom rope. And he ended up delivering a drive-by drop kick to Kevin Owens. Reigns pushed Owens into the ring. He ended up going for the cover, and Owens ended up kicking out. So we had Reigns end up clubbing Kevin Owens in the face. He ended up applying a chin lock. Kevin Owens ended up fighting up, but Reigns ended up uppercutting Owens into the corner. So Owens ended up delivering a chop to keep Reigns back. Reigns ended up clubbing away at Kevin Owens in the corner. He hit the ropes, but Kevin Owens ended up punching Reigns in the head. Kevin Owens ended up punching Reigns, but Reigns ended up booting Kevin Owens back. So later on, Owens ended up getting on the apron. He ended up hitting a frog splash out to the floor on Reigns. Owens ended up getting Reigns in the ring. He ended up going up to the top rope for another frog splash. And he ended up going for the cover. And Reigns ended up kicking out. So Kevin Owens ended up shouting at Reigns. He ended up telling him to get up. He ended up calling Reigns a manipulative piece of crap. So we have Reigns ended up blocking a kick. He hit a sit-out powerbomb to Kevin Owens, to which Kevin Owens ended up kicking out. Owens slowly got to his feet. He ducked the Superman punch by Reigns. Owens ended up hitting a German suplex, and he ended up getting up. Owens ended up charging, but Reigns ended up dropping him with a Superman punch for a near fall. Yeah, Kevin Owens later on going up to the top rope. He hit a swanton onto Reigns, which he ended up going for the cover, and Reigns kicked out. Yeah, Reigns ended up delivering a spear to Kevin Owens later on. He ended up going for the cover, and Owens kicked out of the spear. So Reigns was going for another spear to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens kicked Reigns in the face. Kevin Owens was going for a stunner, but Reigns ended up pushing Owens off into the referee, so the referee was knocked out. Kevin Owens then ended up hitting a pop-up powerbomb on Reigns. He ended up going for the cover, and the count was long because the referee was out. Kevin Owens was looking for the referee, and he saw the ref down at ringside. So Reigns then low-blowed Kevin Owens. Reigns looked at Sami Zayn, started shouting at him, and Sami Zayn was like, "You told me to do nothing." Reigns then told Sami Zayn to get a chair. Sami Zayn was looking worried. He ended up running to the timekeeper's area. Paul Heyman ended up telling him that going under the ring is better. So Sami Zayn ended up retrieving a chair from under the ring, and he was hesitating. And he gave the chair to Reigns. Kevin Owens then ended up hitting Reigns with a stunner. He ended up going for the cover. The referee was back in the ring. He started counting, and Reigns kicked out. So Kevin Owens was going for a pop-up powerbomb, but Reigns countered with a Superman punch. Reigns then ended up hitting the spear to Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens ended up kicking out of it. Reigns was stunned. So Kevin Owens ended up rolling out of the ring to recover, and he was where Sami Zayn was. So Sami Zayn ended up telling Kevin Owens to just stay down. Owens then ended up grabbing at Sami Zayn to get up. Reigns ended up going to the outside. He ended up giving Kevin Owens a spear through the barricade. Reigns ended up putting Owens in the ring, but Kevin Owens ended up rolling back out. Reigns was becoming more and more frustrated at that. So Reigns ended up grabbing Kevin Owens by the head, ended up slamming him back onto the steps, which was brutal. Reigns started looking down at Kevin Owens, and he ended up slamming Kevin Owens onto the edge of the steps again. Very, very brutal. So we had, at the end of the match, Kevin Owens ended up getting to his feet. He ended up slapping Reigns. Reigns then ended up hitting a spear, and he covered Kevin Owens. So there you go. Roman Reigns ended up winning the match, still retaining the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Post-match, we had the Usos and Solo Sikoa end up joining Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Sami Zayn in the ring. Jey ended up going to put the flower lei around Sami Zayn's neck, but Reigns stopped him. So Reigns ended up telling the Usos to double team Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn was forced to watch. Reigns ended up wanting to see what Sami Zayn will do, because the bloodline was destroying Kevin Owens still. The Usos then hit Kevin Owens with the 1D. Reigns ended up putting an arm around Sami Zayn's shoulders, and he held him in position. He held Kevin Owens in position. The Usos ended up putting Kevin Owens in the corner, and they put a chair around Kevin Owens' head. Solo Sikoa ended up hitting a running hip attack into Kevin Owens and the chair. Paul Heyman then ended up hitting Reigns 2 pairs of handcuffs. So Reigns ended up clinking the handcuffs together. He ended up handing one handcuff to Jey and the other to Jimmy. So Sami Zayn was looking conflicted. He ended up watching both Jimmy and Jey handcuff Kevin Owens to the top rope. So Kevin Owens looked like, Jesus, like he was sacrificed on the cross. So we had Usos end up super kicking Kevin Owens in the face. They were taking turns. So they were super kicking Kevin Owens over and over. Sami Zayn looked down. He started rubbing his forehead. Kevin Owens was unconscious. Reigns started talking trash, started taunting Kevin Owens with a chair. Reigns ended up going to swing the chair, but Sami Zayn stood in Reigns' way, ended up telling Reigns to stop. Sami Zayn ended up saying that Reigns has done all he can, and this is beneath him. So Sami Zayn was like to Reigns, he's done. He's done. Reigns then ended up handing the chair to Sami. Sami ended up shaking his head. Reigns then said to Sami, you want to do this. So Paul Heyman ended up shouting to Sami Zayn that this is his moment. Reigns ended up saying that they've gone too far and that Sami needs to do this. Sami then took the chair. Reigns ended up saying that Kevin Owens doesn't care about Sami Zayn and that he has dragged him down since day one. So he ended up saying that he loves Sami Zayn and has given him everything. So we had, Reigns ended up shouting at Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn ended up standing behind Reigns with the chair. So Reigns then ended up telling Sami Zayn to pull the trigger to hit Kevin Owens with the chair. Sami Zayn ended up holding the chair, looked down at the chair. Sami Zayn, looked like he was tearing up. Reigns ended up pushing Sami Zayn's face, started screaming in Sami's face. Sami then ended up nodding his head. He was preparing to hit Kevin Owens. And then Sami Zayn hit Reigns in the spine with the chair. And Sami Zayn got a massive pop. The crowd absolutely went wild when Sami Zayn hit the chair shot to Reigns. Sami then ended up putting the chair down. He looked at the Usos. Jey was shouting at Sami. Jimmy ended up super kicking Sami down. Paul Heyman was shocked. Reigns slowly got up, and he was furious. Jimmy started punching away at Sami Zayn. Sikoa ended up pushing him away. Sikoa ended up pulling Sami Zayn to his feet. And so Sikoa ended up laying out Sami Zayn with the Samoan spike. Jimmy and Sikoa ended up double teaming on Sami Zayn as Reigns was directing traffic. So Jey wasn't getting involved with this. Jimmy ended up shouting that Sami Zayn isn't Jey's brother. So Jey ended up rolling out of the ring, and Jey leaves the bloodline. Jey was shown rubbing his face, and Jey walked off on his family. So Reigns was irate. He kept saying that Sami Zayn has broken up his family. So Reigns started viciously unloading on Sami Zayn with some chair shots before he was punching away at Sami. So the crowd was chanting, "Fuck you, Roman." I mean, it was a loud chant of "Fuck you, Roman" from the crowd. So Reigns ended up grabbing the flower lei, dropped petals onto Sami Zayn, who was unconscious. So the honorary Usher was ripped off of Sami Zayn's body. Jimmy ended up super kicking Kevin Owens once more, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were unconscious in the ring. The crowd was absolutely irate at what was shown, and the show went off the air. But this whole ending was absolutely perfect. This was good television here. And it's showing that the cracks in the bloodline are showing. So, and it's going to, be even bad when the Usos lose the tag team titles and Roman Reigns loses the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So the cracks are beginning in the bloodline. But overall, Royal Rumble this year, absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible show, in my opinion. But anyways, that's it for the Royal Rumble review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow night with the Monday Night Raw review. So until then, see you all later.